Who goes to Las Vegas in August, where real temperatures can exceed 110 degrees? Were we crazy? I'll show you all about it and explain today on See More Seas. Hi everyone and welcome. Now, though this is not a cruise vacation, it is a fun getaway to one of the most entertainment-rich areas of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, as we are counting down to our next couple cruises, we decided to use some airline miles and find a fun location to spend some time. So we're going to show you what we experienced and how you can enjoy your vacation in Las Vegas. We have another fun destination coming up next month, so please stay tuned and subscribe so you don't miss that one. If you are new here, I am Doug, and this is See More Seas, your cruise tips and planning channel where I hope to help you and your family pick, plan, and enjoy your next cruise vacation. If you do find this video helpful in any way, as always, please do give it that thumbs up. And as I mentioned, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help me bring you additional cruise as well as vacation content. And now let's show you our adventure in Las Vegas. So as we were looking at a location for our getaway, we thought of Las Vegas. Many say Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. You may know it as Sin City. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Whatever that might be, an estimated 32 million visitors pay Las Vegas a visit every year. There are many different themed hotels and resorts to choose from on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, many are going to be owned by either MGM Resorts. They have 9 different properties, most of which are going to be on the south end of the Strip, or you're going to be owned by Caesars Entertainment. They also have 9 properties. Now, with the merger with Harrah's, this organization is now the largest gaming company in the world. There are many reasons why Las Vegas is so popular. You know, one of the first, obviously, are the casinos. If you're a gambler, there are massive casinos in every hotel and resort, and it has a game for everybody. Whether it's penny slots, or it's going to be roulette, or even the high roller poker tables, there's something for everyone. Other things, such as all of the headliner concerts available in Las Vegas. In our month that we went, which was in August of 2023, there was a major list of concerts available to us. Let me read some to you. Katy Perry, Maroon 5, Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson, Adele, and George Benson. That's just to name a few. Also in Las Vegas, you're going to have the availability of some really fine dining. Many of the more popular chefs around the country have restaurants in Las Vegas, such as Emeril Lagasse or many others. In each of the hotels, there's going to be a signature steakhouse or restaurant by some of these more popular chefs. And of course, a big draw is just the spectacular hotels and resorts that are themed, such as New York, New York, Excalibur, Luxor, Paris, the Venetian, and of course, all of the standbys like the MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, Bellagio, and all the other ones as well. The weather in Las Vegas is also always pretty great. It hardly rains there at all. It's going to be hot. When we were there, our temperatures were around 110 degrees for that week. However, the humidity is extremely low. You've heard it called a dry heat. Well, it's true. So our humidity level was 7%, and as we walked in the 110 degree temperature, we didn't sweat. It was absolutely amazing. So with that wonderful yet hot weather, there are a lot of outside venues and attractions to visit as well. Hoover Dam is close by, so there's many different types of tours that are available to Hoover Dam. There's also the Grand Canyon. That's not too far. It's going to be a full day trip if you choose one of the excursions to the Grand Canyon, however. Now, if you're more of an inside air conditioning type person, there's lots of inside activities to do as well, other than the casinos. Now, there are additional shows such as the comedy clubs. Brad Garrett has a comedy club there. Carrot Top was performing, as well as Jim Gaffigan. There's also always a few different Cirque shows. That's Cirque du Soleil, and they are absolutely amazing, and they're in some of the more major, larger hotel venues. With all of these amazing options for you for entertainment and activities, one thing is true about Las Vegas. These things are not cheap. Now, our cruise community will all agree that what's so great about a cruise is that when you are on board, all of the big production shows and entertainment are included in the price of your cruise. When you're doing a land-based vacation, such as this Las Vegas getaway, these attractions are expensive. If you're going to see one of the headliner concerts, you may be paying $500 or more per ticket. Now, with the excursions that we did, which I'll review here in a moment, they were still pretty expensive. We did a few different things while we were there for our 4 nights. However, it was pricey. The accommodations, however, were pretty reasonable, and I think this is mostly due to we were going in the hottest month of the year in August, and availability was pretty wide open. Now, you can choose one of the major hotel resorts on the new Las Vegas Strip, or you can save a little bit of money by going to the old original Las Vegas Strip, which is commonly referred to as Fremont Street. What are your favorite hotels and resorts in Las Vegas? Please let me know in the comments below. Let me share with you now what we chose as our accommodations and some of the activities that we did for the week that we were there. We chose the Signature at MGM. These are 3 towers that are part of the MGM complex that are condos. These are individually owned and rented out to guests visiting Las Vegas. Now, you're able to access all of the MGM amenities and all of the MGM properties, including the large pool, the lazy river, and obviously all of the restaurants and venues in the MGM Grand. Now, we chose this location because it was a condo, it faced the Strip, and it also had a full kitchen. So we wanted to have our late morning, early lunch in the room, making it ourselves so that we saved a little money, 1, and 2, we made sure that we weren't eating fast food or any other non-healthy options. The towers each have their own pool. The middle tower has a family pool, and the other 2 are adults only. These are quite smaller than the main MGM pool, but it's also much less hectic and crowded. We had a great room, as you can see here, and we also had an amazing view onto the back of the Strip. One cool thing from our Tower 3, which was the most northern of the 3 towers, we could look out our window and see the brand new Sphere at night, which is absolutely amazing technology. This is a new venue as part of the Venetian, where they're going to be having different types of concerts, sporting events, and all other type of large gatherings. It is set to open in September of this year, and it was really cool to watch. I would sit there for an hour and just watch the different show that it was putting on in the evenings. Also, we chose this location because there is an air-conditioned walkway with people movers between the Signature and the MGM Grand. So all of the venues inside of MGM, including the southernmost access to the monorail is located just nearby. Now, we utilized this monorail to get from the south end of the Strip, which is the last stop, which is MGM, all the way up to the Strat, which is at the very far north of the Strip. You can buy day passes on the monorail. You can do it per ride. We did a day pass and utilized it throughout the day, being able to go from one end of the Strip to the other and check out a lot of the different resorts and hotels. We checked out things like the Venetian. The Venetian is an absolutely gorgeous hotel, and the shops at the Venetian are absolutely ridiculously amazing with respect to the amount of space. It's air conditioned, so it's a good beat the heat location, as well as that's where the gondola rides are. Yes, gondolas inside the shops with an actual river. It's pretty amazing to see, and a lot of people go there just to see and experience the gondola rides. There's lots of different restaurants and stores and lots of things to do, including a very, very large food court inside the Venetian. Across the street, you'll find the Bellagio. The Bellagio has the big popular fountain show that is done most late afternoons and into the evening. I will let you know, in the evening time frames, it's every 15 minutes to every 30 minutes, and it is packed. Getting there is difficult, and the sidewalks are going to be overly crowded as you get close to the Bellagio. So wait your turn to get a spot up front, but you're gonna have to pack some patience. Another great place to explore on the Strip is the Promenade at the Linq Hotel. Now, this is located between two hotels, and it's got a ton of different bars and restaurants and touristy shops, as well as some attractions of their own. At the end of the Promenade, that's where you're going to find the very, very large observation wheel. This is a very large Ferris wheel type attraction that has large pods that it takes 30 minutes to make the full cycle. It says that you should plan on an hour because there will be a wait, and it is pretty amazing, and we could actually see this from our hotel room. We explored the Strip mostly during the day, having one day for the southern end of the Strip and the second day for the north end of the Strip. We spent the afternoons then in the various pools on the MGM Grand property, the large pool, the lazy river, which we quickly determined was way too overcrowded and way too crazy loud with the loud music being played. So we did one lap around the lazy river, and then we went up to the Signature, where the adults only much smaller pools were pretty much empty, and we had the place to ourselves. Some of the evening activities and shows that we went to see was one, Brad Garrett's Comedy Club inside the MGM Grand. Now, we learned that Brad himself, he's the older brother on Everybody Loves Raymond, if you remember that. He was there that weekend as the host, and he brought in two up-and-coming comics that did some small sets, but Brad did 3 rather lengthy sets himself, and it was all ad-lib, and he played with the audience, and it was an absolutely amazing show. We also bought tickets to Cirque, the Cirque du Soleil at the MGM Grand. This show was called Ka, K-A, and it was over-the-top, blow-your-mind show. And just the stage itself was an engineering accomplishment that just blew your mind. And we really enjoyed this. I have never seen a Cirque show, and it did not disappoint. We did learn that there were 3 or 4 other Cirque shows on the Strip, so make sure you check them all out and choose the one that you find is going to be more interesting to you and your group. On another day, we did purchase a tour of the Hoover Dam, which left very early in the morning. It picked us up across the street from the MGM Grand at the Park MGM property. And it was right on time. It was a great informative bus ride to the Hoover Dam, gave us all of the different history of how the dam was built, showed us where some of the workers stayed in Boulder City. It was a really excellent tour. It included the inside tour of the dam, which we thought was fantastic and very, very informative. I, myself, am not the best fan of heights, so walking over the dam, looking over the edge, and then looking at the dam from the new observation bridge that bypasses the dam for traffic was even more so thrilling for me to look over, but I sucked it up and did a pretty good job. For dining during the week, we had lots of different options available to us. As I mentioned earlier, we normally had a large breakfast or late breakfast at the Signature in our room due to the fact that we did have the kitchenette, and we did take an Uber to a Walmart supercenter nearby on day one to stock up on breakfast supplies. We normally did not eat lunch, but we saved room for a large dinner. Now, to save some money, we actually ate at Outback Steakhouse twice. The first time, since we have friends that live in Las Vegas, they picked us up at the MGM Grand, and we went south of the Strip near where they lived and had a really good dinner that was reasonably priced. The other time we went to Outback, there is one on the Strip right beside the M&M store and inside the Coca-Cola building, which was not a far walk from the Signature. And that location, however, we didn't really have a very good experience. We did treat ourselves to a few very nice meals, the first being inside the MGM Grand at International Smoke. Now, this is a restaurant that is supposedly known for their ribs as well as their steak. I had the ribs, they were pretty average, but John had a ribeye and he said it was excellent. Reservations are highly recommended for any of those venues, and you can do these either on OpenTable or on the hotel's website. Across the street from the MGM is the New York, and this is where we really treated ourselves to a fine dining steakhouse called Gallagher's. Now, Gallagher's is a very famous steakhouse from New York City that has dry-aged beef steaks, and it did not disappoint. This was an excellent yet expensive meal, and this is a little bit more fine dining. We got away with jeans and a nice collared shirt, but it is white tablecloth, linen tablecloth service, so if you've got some nicer clothes, plan on using them at Gallagher's. Also inside the MGM Grand is Nellie's Southern Kitchen. This is a casual spot, however, still pretty pricey, and I had a great burger there, and John said that his steak was very, very good. Reservations are highly recommended. One of the things that we found strange is that in most of all of the hotels that we explored, we found that the buffets in the hotels, in the resorts, were closed after 3 p.m. They're only open for breakfast and lunch. Inside almost all of the hotels and up and down the Strip, you're going to find various fast food options, takeaway options, as well as lower priced, more casual restaurants. Guy Fieri has a burger place there, as well as most of the resorts also had sports bars for burgers and wings and that type of food. All in all, I think the dining options in Las Vegas was pretty good, however, a little bit expensive. We had a really good time on our trip to Las Vegas, but there are several things that I want you to know before you plan your own trip to Las Vegas. The first is the heat. it is going to be hot, but it is that dry heat. So even walking around in 110 degrees, it did not feel oppressive and we did not sweat overly. So keep in mind that it is going to be hot. You'll want to bring your sunscreen as well as a hat. One of the biggest things that we noticed and we knew about going into Las Vegas is, as non-smokers, we knew that the casinos would have a lot of cigarette smoke. Well, this was definitely the case, and through all of the hotels, through all of the casinos, there was a heavy smell of cigarette smoke everywhere. So if this is something that bothers you, if you are sensitive to this, you may want to bring a mask, or you might want to think of a different location. The other thing is, recreational use of marijuana is legal in Las Vegas. Now, you cannot smoke pot inside of the hotels or the casinos, but outside on the sidewalk, as well as on the bridges that go over, the walkway bridges that go over the strip between hotels, the smell of marijuana is in your face and you cannot escape it. At night, when the streets are even more so crowded and those walkways between hotels, the walkway bridges connecting the hotels and casinos, the thick smell of pot is everywhere. We tried to get away from it and it is impossible. It is strong and it is in your face. If this is something that you are sensitive to, you may want to rethink planning a trip to Vegas. I personally don't have any opposition to the recreational use of marijuana. I just feel that when people are in such close proximity to one another in a locked outside environment with boundaries, I just think it's inappropriate and, quite frankly, disrespectful to those around you. What do you guys think? Would this bother you? Let me know in the comments below. And my last point that I'll speak to is cost. The cost of our trip, we did not pay for airfare except for the taxes due to the fact that we used airline miles. However, the cost of the 4 nights in the hotel was not too bad, but when you add on the cost of food as well as the entertainment and excursion that we went on, this exceeded what we would normally pay for a 4 or a 5 night cruise. Now, the level of entertainment that we saw is not even close to the entertainment on a cruise ship. It was so much above and beyond what you'll find on a cruise ship. The excursion to Hoover Dam was very typically priced in line with what you would find at a port on a cruise. So I highly recommend that you take a look at your cost, estimated cost, add in some expensive meals for you and your traveling party, and see how that compares to going on a 4 or 5 night cruise. The destination is a lot about the experience, and we wanted to go back to Las Vegas to see some of the changes that we have not seen in the last 15 to 20 years. So we had a great time. It was well worth it, but from a financial standpoint, we did pay more than we normally would do on a 4 or 5 night cruise getaway. Thank you for joining me today and learning about our experience for our getaway weekend in Las Vegas. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please do give it that thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. There's tons of additional content here, and I hope you come back often. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon.